Mm-hmm.
Let's go. It's showtime, everyone. Hello, hello. Oh, yeah, I didn't set up before Ray Bell came in. Now I need to fix her in my OBS. And let's put her in between the game. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to the circus. Welcome to the show. I'm Hida Firechar, usually your succubus ringmaster and magician in the circus. Now in my detective outfit to play the Great Ace Attorney with my lovely collaborators, Ox Ryan, my mom.
Hello.
We have Chronobel.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I should have saved you for last, so that you were more prepared to do your intro. And we have Cthulhu.
Hello.
Hey everyone. Yeah, unfortunately, Cthulhu is not feeling well for the collab, so hope she'll be getting better soon. For now, it's a four-man show. Hope we can manage with all the voices that are all the characters that are thrown at us.
Mm-hmm.
All the jury members and everything. Oh well.
We'll think of something.
Mm-hmm. As for the game, who remembers what happened last time?
Okay, I do remember.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? It was whatever it was, his Detective Spectacular, whatever it's called. Sherlock did that for the maid and her husband. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Showing that they just got into like a little fight, maybe.
Oh yes,
Something
yes.
like that. I do
Yeah,
remember that part.
they pretty much destroyed the house.
Yeah. And then, as they were leaving, they found this very sparkly jeweled man. Don't remember his name. Like, what actually happened after that? Like, we didn't... I think we were in that house for, like, most of the time, and then they went to the prison again.
Yep.
Before visiting hours.
We didn't find anything out about the murder necessarily.
Yeah.
Except that that's the house owner that is renting out the place. Well, didn't see anything because they were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this adventure of observation and finding stuff out, Naruhodo kind of steeled his resolve to kind of like
help him
defend Natsume, was it?
Yeah,
I think
Saseki Natsume.
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty much it. We didn't necessarily find anything out about the case, which was kind of like, okay. This is gonna be a hard trial, I suppose, for Naruhodo. Like, the only clue that he found was... I'll have to check the court records when we get into the game.
I think the only thing was that Sherlock Holmes did not say that Natsume was the one who did it. His task was to only like find someone who was running away.
Yeah. Holmes did his task up to the point that he was asked to, and didn't find out who actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, in that case, then we're going to move to the game screen. You know what, Coots, you're kind of lonely there in the corner. Let's have someone visit you. Let's have Belle with you. Okay. Can everyone has the screen open, right? In Discord?
Yes.
Everyone can see it? Okay, cool. So, let's continue with the adventure. So, trial part 1. Let's go. 20th of February.
I wonder who the jury's gonna be this time, because it's always different, right?
Could be, yeah. We'll see.
It's
Right.
kind of weird if it was the same people, but that'd be interesting.
We'll see.
Anyway, continue.
It will be, yeah. Oh, kind of fixing the. Oh, right. Let's continue. Well, I never expected this. Oh yeah, court record. What kind of clues did we find? We had only the map and a receipt of the books that he bought on that day.
Books.
Yep. And the thing was that the date and time was right before the murder. So it kind of established that he was indeed nearby. Not necessarily great evidence, but we want to prove that he was not. Oh well. Who would have thought I'd be back here again so soon?
We're on a study tour of Great Britain, I don't know how to read that, with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. Sorry, I can't read. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's okay. Take your time.
We're trying to research the latest court procedures here. We need as much court experience as possible.
Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court. And it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass.
Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right.
Natsume? I don't know. Good morning.
I
Okay.
don't think. Maybe.
Yeah, it
Oh
was-
yes.
Yep. There he is.
Is Ice even redder than before, or was he always like that?
Oh,
I think it's
I thought it was dark
Yeah.
before, so.
He never slept. Oh, Mr. Natsume. Good morning.
Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. Yeah, they are rather
Bloodshot, yeah.
bloodshot.
The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain.
Yes, I've heard that expression.
But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result.
For all literary people take things so literally?
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume.
I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble.
Really? Because I feel tremors in the floor.
I can't do this. I can't take it. Although locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
How long?
Yes.
I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London.
Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mr. Sato?
Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have an idea.
So that's all knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it?
Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it?
Lord Van Zieks? Is that right, Mr. Zato?
I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zieks is on the front page of everyone.
I knew it.
On time, after the persecutor was stabbed, the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now. In fact, until the day before yesterday.
Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Ziek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was.
Poor guy. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's.
But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the people are asking. They are all speculating various answers.
Mundane is the most significant saga of the century to some of us.
Oh, yeah, I mean, no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, lest we also forget that the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught the people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Hmm? Yes, I agree.
Locum
Oh.
student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you!
Me? Well, I suppose that's true.
Both times, it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper!
Please! Don't rub shoulders. I don't rub shoulders with the Deathbringers.
Why is that the conclusion he comes to?
I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruto, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that.
Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive!
Hey, at least you got a lawyer, dude.
Well-
Hackers can't be choosers, mate.
Let's not forget, it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, benevolent locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we'll always be on your side.
Oh, benevolent non-local assistant Miss Mikotova Esquires. All the titles.
Squires?
I'm in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live.
Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. Court is in session and is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. All right, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go.
Yes.
This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight.
Kazuma.
Mm-hmm. "10 a.m. Old Bailey courtroom." Who did the judge? Usually it was Momo, right? Who took over the judge?
Yeah, it was Momo. But, I mean, Ryan could also do it.
Yeah,
I
true.
guess. Oh, it is what. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Wait a minute. Sorry. I'm like trying to pop out the stream thing and it won't let me do it, so I need to... Okay.
Wait, what? Oh.
The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord.
The defense is ready, my lord.
It doesn't look ready.
The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed.
Sorry, what?
Lord Strongheart has told me all about you.
Ooh, gossip.
That you were a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. But
Do you have a point?
being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance.
Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
Susato-san.
Well, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Strange accent.
Here he goes.
Go
Pour his wine again.
Ooh, the wine. Chug, chug.
Chug, chug. Very true. And a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted, and his unfortunate violent end.
Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public?
You never know when it was Bruce, you know, from the first trial, so I just voiced him then.
Really?
Yep.
I thought the guy was like a little chunkier than that, like he was smaller.
No, this was a witness from a previous trial.
Oh, okay.
You'll never know when you might be down on your luck. I believe in fair play for everyone. She's new, so.
Wanna do her?
You wanna do her?
Okay.
It's very cute, I like her.
Yeah, I love the big eyes. How can I do her? Well, I must warn you, I'm pretty more ruthless than I appear.
Oh my god, it's so cute!
Well, Coots, you did him previous trial.
Did I?
He was a witness as well. He was the one that he was the header.
No, he couldn't have been. That
Yeah.
other guy looked like more scared.
No, this is the header, but different clothes on. His hat is also more fitting and doesn't fall off of his head every time.
I guess. Alright, what was this? Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow.
Yeah, exactly the same voice as you gave him the previous time.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no.
Well,
There's no
our
clue.
smoky voice, Kururu is not here to voice her, but
We can do a smoky voice.
I can try, but
I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible
Do we go
that
around?
Monster
Just get this-
She's
Coroner
like dying at all times.
did the deed. Who wants this to get this morally fellow? Ryan? Can you give us a really
Can I do
morally
a
voice?
deep- Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyways.
Santa.
Let me see if I can. So, because I know I can do a grandma, but let's see.
Do a grandpa.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
Oh.
That's so fitting. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks.
I think not every juror is actually capable of hearing what this trial is about.
Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with the rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. What? Fucking drink it for once!
He's
while
just
our
whiffing the
country-
aroma.
Yeah. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomeses, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. Blow up.
That's very dramatic.
Did you throw it at the light the last time?
Yep, he always does.
Okay.
Oh, I
Oh,
remember
plunge.
that he did throw it up, but I mean, did throw it, but
I don't
Didn't
think you
have
threw it at the
to
light the
first?
last time.
I
It
don't
always
think it was
does.
a-
It's always the
Wow.
same animation, kind of.
Oh, okay. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street.
A knife for a knife crime? I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath, they are.
What's wrong with this sour complexion? As your stature, he's the one of those dreadful Japanese.
Oh god.
Oh.
Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in the great chamber.
You'll have a stock underneath your desk anyway, so I mean.
Allow me to call the first witness to the stand.
Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please.
Doctor?
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh dear. We're missing Kururu for
Well, this
her
was the
name as
voice
well.
intentionally put there for Ryan, so let's see how he actually does it at this time. Your name and occupation, please.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard.
Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector?
The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green.
Look at her!
She's around.
I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since.
Oh, so she's not dead.
What? So they didn't even know who she is for sure?
Comatose. I see. But her life is not in danger?
Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector.
Sir, If I could ask everyone to look at the street map.
Pray for forgive the discourtesy of coming unannounced. That's okay, Seek.
Hello.
Well, welcome
Hello.
to the show. Hope you enjoy our little voice work on this story. Sorry if we're not really addressing you directly when you came in. But yeah, let us continue. Thanks for joining now.
As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals.
Ah, thank you, Sig. And you have quite the cute emotes there. Teehee. I love Midna.
Just give me a second, I will be right back. You can,
Okay.
you can keep playing. Sorry, I'll be right back.
But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please.
Okay, let's go over the files before we read the next dialogue. Let's see. Young woman rendered unconscious following the stab wound to the back. Victim is olive green, female stout build, early 20s. Location pavement on the Briar Road east side. Reporting officer is Rolly
Rolly
Beat.
Beat, I think is what that might be.
Rolly
Yeah,
Beat.
maybe.
Maybe. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from a single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. Okay. Go ahead, Coots.
What of the weapon that was used?
Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back.
Ouch. That thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. Oh yeah, well, Susato is...
I am back.
Oh,
Welcome
you were
back.
just right on time back.
Time.
I was about to almost ask Ryan to do his famous Susato voice. Because he voiced it for her earlier.
Good thing there's a substitute.
With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody will have been able to stab the poor woman.
Even a stragged looking Suzaki-san, I suppose.
The knife?
A common or garden jackknife, I would say, rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence.
Let's inspect this evidence as well soon.
Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume?
Let's see. There is indeed non-distinct of anything. Except that the
What?
blade tip is
It's
gone.
Yeah, the tip is off, that's for sure.
Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo. Just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
Just the tip.
You're right. Well spotted, Mrs. Sato.
I wonder what could have happened to it.
Yes. You don't think it could be still lodged in the victim, do you?
Dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful.
It sounds terribly painful indeed. Otherwise, this is indeed what the judge had, a nondescript like knife. Nothing to it.
From what we could tell by looking at the woman's possession, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have anything much of worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
If the theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what other reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
He just threw the wine bottle.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery.
It was not uncorked though, right? Oh wait, it was
No,
uncorked.
yeah.
He poured it. Sorry, I had it in reverse in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining what it would be like if he pouring it in, but the cork's still there, like a.
He corked it back in between pours.
Yeah. See, I'm playing with the Japanese voice acting on because I find the voices a little bit better. But go ahead, Von Zeeks.
But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here.
What?
Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student.
Yes, sir.
Well, first testimony, I suppose. Mr. Natsume's arrest.
As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused.
Hey, that rude. Take
Out
it
of the
easy,
blue.
okay? Sorry.
Hope you get some rest, crew.
Mm-hmm.
Out
Hi,
of the blue.
Luigi boy.
Luigi boy. Butcher without his accent.
Yeah, well, it's not a normal Ryan boy.
No. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems.
Sorry,
Are you
Kuroda.
really trying to do the accent?
No.
Oh.
Those being a number on the books.
Yes,
He had
yes.
just dropped off.
I'm not gonna attempt to act like
He was on his way home from the bookshop, it seems.
I could be that Ita is better than me that I'm Italian. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Mamma mia!
Do you want to do it then?
do I have to interrogate myself then?
That's true.
At some point I have to interrogate myself anyway because of all the witnesses coming in, but I mean... go ahead, Ryan, we were all on a roll here.
It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to. and we found the bloke to arrest him.
He's having ancient art.
Accent is an art. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh. Ah, yes. I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector.
Well, Zeke, if you're saying that you're going, then thanks for joining for this little bit. Or if you're saying to the victim, like, I don't that shit, then sure.
Salute for all of...
You read this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the joke. Ah, not a hodo.
You Nipponese are a spineless breed. Too cowardly to admit defeat. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Well,
Give me a second.
Okay.
Okie dokes.
I'm still eating.
Yeah, I was about to say that you just had a bite of your food. Look at this Susato voice actor. She's eating all her knowledge.
Eating from the book.
Eating all the knowledge of the books. Overwhelming at first glance.
That would be very convenient.
If you ask no questions, you can do it. It's true.
Okay, I can do this, maybe. Forgive me, Lord Van Zix, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it.
What are you doing, Mrs. Sato?
Do go on.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, now that you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us that what had happened.
As I was walking along the accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a light scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my leg would carry me back to the cursed lodgings.
A green overcoat.
Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing.
Oh my, the photographic print is full color. What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit that he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back.
There was nobody else there at the time. Just the two of them. The victim and the accused. In other words, there was nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman.
She stabbed herself. Kick.
A fact that the accused concedes.
It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pitiful, Counsel. Proceed, please.
Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. This is our only chance. Mr. Namatsume's arrest. Let's see. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. There was an incident when an incident occurred. It was unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about the victim and accused. But doesn't the evidence say that he was discovered by an eyewitness, though?
The assailant was seen running away.
Go back?
Yeah.
On the
Assailant
bottom.
was seen running away by the reporting officer.
So would that be evidence against that claim?
I guess
Well,
so.
The
Nobody knows what's
reporting
there.
officer. Who reported the officer?
On the left.
Like who was?
Rolly Beats, wasn't it?
My-
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
My point is like, yeah. Well, my point is like someone would have had to call the officer, wouldn't they? Like they would have to have been someone there.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't.
And well,
like,
he was
Natsume didn't
seen
call,
running
right?
away, so there was definitely someone.
I think
Yeah.
the last thing
Either
I was
way, it's a
saying
good one.
Well, that's not necessary. That's not good. So, okay.
As I look. Oh, I
Yeah,
read
we're
this.
not gonna read the failure. That seems that.
Mhm.
Ouch. You were invited, good sir. Let's just press the statement then, I suppose.
Or maybe.
How are you able to state that with any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us.
Ah, yes. Inspector Gretchen mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, ma'am.
Then we must hear their testimony.
The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand should it be necessary.
But wait a minute. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of the winter. Must have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen.
I'm unaware of the situation of your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated by in the night by gas streetlights. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Below the victim stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed.
Maybe it's the time. Can we check the evidence? The bookshop.
Well, it did
The bookshop one.
yeah, well, it did say the bookshop one is time on 4:45.
Okay,
He was on his way back and it was 5 a.m.
Okay.
5 p.m. Sorry.
All about the
So that's not it.
picture. I don't think we examined that yet.
Well, there's not much to see to be honest.
Like the books.
Well, yeah, there's 3 books around, but we can't necessarily press that. This is just a photo, and we see what we get. We get what we see. Nothing much at the moment. We'll just have to
Kinda weird
press.
that, like, the snow fully surrounds her.
Hmm.
I don't think that's anything to like press just yet, but like
yeah.
it's like they don't put things in the pictures unless it's like you know, especially the first one.
Let's just press all the things, I suppose. From behind, you say? Right?
That's right, as you can see from this print. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition, comatose no less. I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's been treated at Bart's.
Ryan talking to himself.
I was hoping that she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own accounts of the events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky.
Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
Scattering his belongings on the floor. Huh. Mr. Natsume's belongings.
I think you'll find us all there in the photographic print of the crime scene.
Was that Natsume's books now?
Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. Oh no, they fell on the floor.
The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example.
Oh, it's me.
Yep, that's
It's
it.
very. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's alarm. He's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
It's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with his books. His matter just to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we knew it was there.
You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes.
Nurse, can you come here? Yes, doctor, I'm coming. Someone shut that dog up. Bark, 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 bark.
What?
Because it was the same voice. So I'm like,
I am sorry.
Ryan's vocabulary is, well, his vocal talent is quite monotone.
it's okay, Ryan. It was
It's
just
okay.
funny to me. You're perfectly fine.
There's been a number of old books he just brought. He wasn't. Yeah. That's pretty much the truth, probably. The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A shop full of English literature.
I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
The bloke's room was stacked to floor to ceiling with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid.
Sure.
The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused's lodging is this place, Bourbon Books.
It's fairly close
A
to
little
the...
place on the corner of Briar Road and Meacham Street.
Yeah, it's very close to his home, actually.
As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road, at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Something like this.
could have been that he crossed the street the other way and that he was already on the right side though. Or so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Actually, yeah, because that means he would be going out of his way.
To overtake.
Though
Yeah,
then again, Natsume said he crossed the lady though.
Yeah, he overtook and then like
Yeah.
he just collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yes, I agree. Most important point that the inspector just made being
Was it the name? Did it have a different name? Like Fates or something?
your books. And he said that
Bourbon.
Buron
Oh, it's
books.
bourbon.
Oh, so the name.
Yeah.
The bookshop's name.
Bookshop's name.
Inspector Gretchen, may I ask you a favor?
What?
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe.
Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue.
Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say.
Could that man be any more
Sardonic.
sardonic?
I've only ever seen that word like a few times in my entire life.
So we definitely need to prevent the second hit. If you could please stop, if I could please stop you there, Mr. Inspector Gregson.
What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. Sunshine.
This is the receipt that we found in Mr. Nasuno's room. It was issued on the day of the incident, and the details on the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in the accused room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
Guys, I will very fast relog on Discord because it's looking very strange. But
Okay.
noise.
Oh, okay.
Give me a second.
Okay. Also, I'm very hungry right now, and that inspector's chips look so good.
You need to get yourself a snack before you go on.
No, we're good for a little while. So.
Okay. This recipe.
There was like this. Oh, sorry.
What, Belle?
Oh, there was like this giant gray screen on the
Ew.
lower part. I don't know.
Oh.
And it was
Oh,
like,
no,
what
no,
was
no.
that? Can I
Maybe.
remove that?
Glitching.
Yeah,
The
it's
stream
like
is glitching, yeah. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Why is he
Your?
spelling that?
Because
Because there's
it could
different
be-
spelling of yours.
yeah,
Oh, I like
it could
the
have been
emotes.
O-U-R or O-R-E. You know.
Okay. English is so complicated.
Yeah, I know.
Your books? Y-O-R-E, I presume.
Yes, my lord. Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at the second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Borden Books.
Eh?
Bourbon.
Borden.
Bourbon.
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 Oh no, the chips.
Bourbon.
getting
the
crushed.
chips, no,
No, the chips!
Eh? What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another secondhand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on that day, on the day in question. And the yeah, dude.
Your time.
You can do it.
There you
Okay,
go.
Kutz.
Oops.
Go. How do I pronounce it again?
Receipt.
Receipt. I didn't say it the first time correctly, and then it just went downhill, huh?
Actually, I'm just noticing right now. Like, it looks normal to me because I've seen it my entire life, but I'm also like, how in the fuck is anyone who's not English supposed to know how the fuck is receipt?
Yeah,
Receipt.
well,
Yeah.
and this receipt proves it.
Receipt. Yep. Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
I disagree. I mean, after all,
There's the street map here, if that might be of help.
yes, thank you. English is as simple as ingredients.
To Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coke and Cola. I mean, what?
Well, they used to put cocaine in it, so that's why it's called
Somewhere.
Coke.
Yeah.
Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning for bourbon books, then yes, it would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account that the fact that he was actually at the other bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out to be he wouldn't have passed for that location at all. Could that be true?
It right depends on where this other bookshop is, but I declare it might be a possibility.
Is that right, Miss Lawyer, sir? What you just said?
Absolutely. It absolutely could be right.
And it turns out it's just right beside Bourbon. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that Your Books is just here on the next corner of Meacham Street, going east.
It's like it's a small store, but it's a bigger square on the map
Yeah.
than the store they were talking
Bigger
about.
area.
And there you have it, as you can clearly see now. Oh.
Oh, he has another wine, another glass. Oh no.
My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown, the way he regales us with such witticisms. Whatever the fuck that means. I don't know what
I
that
don't
means.
like them. I don't like clowns. No.
You could join my circus, I suppose.
Ida is fine. Ida is the only one that does.
I'm not a clown,
He
though.
is not a clown.
Wait, who?
Oh, that's why maybe. Okay, you're more like an acrobat. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm a
It doesn't
magician
have
and
that
ringmaster.
ringmaster.
Oh, ringmaster. Oh, there's a name for that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm a
Oh yeah, you always
ringmaster
say that,
and
but I didn't
magician.
know there was the official name. Like, this was the official name for that. I'm stupid.
Pain
I guess I said it
Pecco?
aggressively,
Stupid
but
English.
honestly,
Pain Pecco?
But I'm glad you're not a
Hey,
clown.
Pecco.
I don't like them. I am scared of clowns.
Mm-hmm.
to your future career in the circus.
Well, a career in the
You
circus
want
is
a
not
future
that
career in the
bad.
circus.
Oh
But
yeah.
Hita.
But holding information
Yeah,
from
Ida
defendants.
back in time with Naruhodo.
But any information from the defendant is why this is happening to me. For me, for 6, the only clown is the drunken monitoring into primacy.
But the thing is, he doesn't drink, therefore he's not drunk. He keeps throwing away his wine.
You put that glass down now, or I put it down for you.
Wow, Mr. Santa.
I didn't think I need to spell it out, but here we go.
No, angry. Yes, angry.
If the accused was coming home from your books instead of bourbon books, there's no doubt he would still have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
He could still go the other way around.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
just the
was
same
saying.
amount of distance.
But maybe it's longer. I don't know.
He could have just crossed the street that, was already next to him instead of...
Hmm.
Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. See, that's what he did the first time. He just crushed it. He didn't throw it.
What a man.
Natsume is
man
also
purchased-
like confused.
Yeah.
Looks cat.
Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Yeah. As I suspected, you can't fool me. I don't suggest you try.
What did I say, eh? I have had enough of this now.
Beg your pardon. Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
He really is bad over hearing, huh?
Did he hear
heard one
anything?
thing.
I think he just sat there and didn't hear anything.
Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up.
What do you mean?
The prosecution assertion is correct. The members of the jury might very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
She's absolutely right.
We must think. We must consider the assertion.
Assertion?
Assertion? Okay.
Assertion.
Just put forward with the prosecution very, very carefully.
They claim Sasaki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home to Eurobrooks, but...
I have to raise an objection.
The assertion you just made of, just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Matsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between two places.
Thank you.
Oh.
Why is that the other one that
It's
he
literally
fucking thinks?
just Maru has to figure out, but everyone else knows that. Indeed. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrived back to his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way around. Thank you. That's it. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home?
That's true.
Well,
The answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words. The accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Dun dun.
Yes, I got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume about the road he took home.
I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection.
That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home.
I don't believe this.
I thought he was gonna throw his wine bottle again.
No need this time. I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject.
Wandering aimlessly means it is possibly that.
Yeah, it is a plus. Yeah.
Yes, it's still. But yeah, I find it really, really good to see that Van Ziek's kind of warmed up to Naruhodo. He's calling him a learned friend, but he's not too cold against Naruhodo anymore. But
But he did call him a clown.
well, yeah, true.
He is also calling him friend now, though.
Yeah,
Like, without always using Nipponese and, like, you
Yeah.
know.
he's treating it with more respect. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Pray, what say you insightful jurors?
But even if that is the case, the defense still.
He's like, whatever.
I agree with Lord Van Zieks, wholeheartedly and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean we members of the jury are completely convinced now?
Damn, already?
It's always super quick.
Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
We'll go, what?
He wasn't even listening, what?
Hmm?
The last one.
All of them at once?
Yeah, well, that happened the previous time as well.
No, there was at least one white. Wasn't it,
It
like
would've-
the old lady?
No,
She was the last
we're now
one.
doing the end argument or summation or summation or whatever it's called.
It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. Oh, you died.
Summation,
The
examination, yeah.
To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably.
Is there another hotel?
Mm,
Don't die,
No.
please.
not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those skills the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow.
Literally.
Those are the eyes of Quarry not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago.
Call it antiquated if you will. But it is the defense
Prerogative.
prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letters of the law, we shall proceed with the summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course, I'm ready. We're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nimplenee's whippersnapper and his uncouth refusal to throw in the throw in his ally.
Uncas?
Yeah, what's Uncas?
Let me look it up. Uncas.
Very well then.
Unpleasant? Bad or unpleasant?
Oh, okay. English with Ace Attorney.
Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Georges. For pity's sake, that little Nimplenee's oddity already admitted to him, it himself, didn't he?
It is said that a woman in grey collapsed before his eyes. Well, it could only have been the victim.
The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. Not in winter.
So poor woman was attacked from behind. Was she? How dreadful.
Little cheeks.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
Your books. Yes, I shop that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit.
all these findings have nothing to do with the case.
I love that man. Like, he has a point, though.
Yeah.
Why would we pass by a workshop not worth visiting?
Well, I mean,
With-
I guess.
With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. Minor exceptions.
When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant had then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Yeah. Even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsuma's guilt now.
Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? It's impossible. How can I possibly make this make the case for the defense?
Mr. Nerhadal, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue...
Yes, I know. We have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least.
Exactly. We have no choice but to forward.
You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yes, my lord.
Ouch.
Just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes. Come on, Yurianosuke. You can do it.
You can do it.
We believe in you. Whoa.
Let's see.
No.
Excuse me, but aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was the witness stand for myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold was down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Fossicking around? Fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was the man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me under the day. You had me and the young hats were packed as criminals. Well, you know, water under the bridge. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around. The police have been badgering me non-stop. If I could turn back the clock. Well, anyway.
You're not me.
I don't know about that hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind who's guilty and who isn't. Ah, thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might might struggle to this man's mind, given the awkward history.
Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
You're right at the time. You're right at the time of the incident. The defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him.
Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little Lebanese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. Mustache. Oh, thank you.
Oh, welcome back,
I
Steve.
had to read that. Mustache?
Yeah, mustache.
Mustache. It sounds like French.
Mm-hmm.
I think it probably is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Like,
doesn't
it
sound like
adopted probably
English. I don't
from
know.
French.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
But let us not forget, madam, the defense vehemently denies attacking the women.
We can do an English lesson just with a Saturday.
English takes too many words from modern. Yeah.
I just remembered to pay a water bill and I'm back. English takes too many words from underlying language. Yeah.
Why, of course it does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes.
But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you think he would have concocted something more credible?
Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you're a friend. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds?
Oh.
I could tell what's going through my funny little mind right now. But you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, babe.
I did declare the man has already made the admission.
Mission. Yeah.
Himself. I stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could possibly have committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit.
My, you're too kind, my lord.
That went well for her. And yes, I agree, it's racist, but I mean, yeah, this is the early 18, like, yeah.
Yeah, early days.
1800s. Yeah. Oh, they're late even. Ah, well. It's not the today times. Okay. But you can't deny that there is other routes that Mr. Natsume could have taken back to from your books.
Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? Was it Calabash Road or something?
Precisely.
But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not.
Well, yes, that's true.
And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there?
Well, yes, that's true as well.
And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he?
Well, yes, that's annoyingly true.
Winter nights are dark and cold. So the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible.
Well, yes, why is this all true?
So really, the only thing that makes sense here is he went home along Briar Road.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be convincing you there.
I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash Roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would.
Any reason why your Sasaki-san might have taken the longer way around?
Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'd be able to sway this young man's opinion with that one.
Be right back for a bit.
Okay, I'm not gonna like voicing this. Whatever is the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garabab, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume's room?
Master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid. The maid, you understand?
She's keeping up her charade. Charade. This is going to be awkward. Why did you mention this yesterday? You've been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean.
Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice.
I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he?
Back.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Although he's the only been in there for a little week now.
And in the time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this?
Oh, goodness me, yes. He's just the sort.
What?
Spending all his time in the dog dinghy room, sporting that unscrupulous mustache.
What's everyone
I
with his
don't like the
mustache?
That man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something.
Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more.
Natsume looks like he's... Natsume looks like he might interject with a hobo and mouse trying to get a piece of the cheese someone dropped from their dog. True. Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She's said enough about her damning things around. You don't care, just rip... Okay.
A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's.
Ah,
The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids.
oh, I see. That must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the world dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk, it is.
So, you were digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop, it was.
Oh,
What? Another coincidence?
That's right, Meersham Street, it was. Oh, is this our clue?
I think
Meerson
so.
Street?
On the map, Mr. Naruhodo. There are only 3 neighbored streets.
Generator number 5, I need you to add the information to the former statement, please.
What's the point in that? Can't we just get this business over with now? He looks like he wants to like fight everyone.
Please, sir, it's important.
Fine, I'll do it then.
The map?
Yeah, that's pretty much the street that the short route was taking, huh?
The short route he was digging up.
Like here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like I could have pointed it out. So here. So maybe he couldn't have taken this route, but needed to go all the way around.
Because there's
Yes.
construction.
There's construction. So let's see. Who said that there was no other way?
Yeah. That
Yeah,
The man
it
would
was
have
him.
gone around the house.
Yeah, it was him.
Juror 5 is biased towards finishing the trial. Can we
Those
put
two
him on?
statements are clearly at odds with one another.
At odds, counsel. Explain yourself.
Please, don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
What? I just want to get this done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3.
Me, sir? What do you mean?
Juror number 5 words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the importance of what's been said on the map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited the bookshop to purchase the book of the second-hand books. And on the same day, we know that there were works being carried out on Meersum Street, making it impassable, which means the defendant's route home couldn't have taken along Meersum Street and down Briber Road.
Yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Well, yes, you can't really argue with that, really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings.
Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose that must be right, eh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, but We see now that he has no other choice.
Space.
My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may.
Yes?
I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. What about you, sir?
Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution argument, it should be filled in. That's what I say.
Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful.
Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least. Strengthened our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that will make them stop doubting. Okay, Mr. Natsume.
Doubting.
Doubting. Thank you. I can't speak today.
It's weird. Doubting is like a weird word too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
how
like.
could you like?
We might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yes, that's exactly what we got to do. Von Zeeks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent. By whatever means we have at our disposal. Well, he's not allowed to speak during this section, so...
Thank you, counsel. On with the summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord.
Sorry. Folded, you say? Fold what?
No, I said... what I said was, hold it! What I mean, if I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books. They have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. Well, I'm old. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking out books there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
I just noticed he's wearing green.
Yeah,
Just
that
before
was the
5, you say. Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry, not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head.
Ha! He's wearing green. Wasn't Carnabash Road. Maybe he saw that man slipping and ran away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road.
That's right, I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6. I must insist to add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
Sorry, extremely sick. No, I'm quite alright now.
Funny.
For man living inside of
cute.
pipe corn. Wait.
Living inside the pipe of corn.
You changed it to the jurors' minds, Mr. Nerhuddle.
Yes, just 2 more to go.
Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here.
Wish I knew how to do that. How to do a Susato takedown. I suppose words will have to do to survive for now.
Yes, only Susato can do the Susato takedown.
Well, yeah, it's under her name, so.
Turntable.
He said the
that one you want to.
Yeah, it's green before, because his statement now is I slipped over the evening at Carnival Road and knocked myself out clean.
Oh, you chose the first statement.
Yeah.
For pity's sake.
No. I can still. Oh wait, yeah. I
You wanna
can.
do like 2, yeah,
Yeah,
and
and then him.
Oh, this one, yes.
Those 2 statements clearly showed a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
a flaw. What are you talking about, counsel?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6.
Hey, what do you mean, sir?
What did you say?
I think perhaps the Hulkman didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. It's like if I was. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that he was on the day of the attack. He had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles, then returned home on foot.
Says he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. What he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in green overcoat, who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we are well aware of all this. The poor young woman was David, obviously.
Can we really be sure of that man?
Why? What do you mean?
I'm sure you heard the juror's number 6 account of what happened to him that day. The same afternoon, there was somebody else who, apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. Hey there, media.
Oh my.
My goodness, you mean...
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to the hard of hearing juror number 6.
Yes?
Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat and the defender's cell collapsed in front of his eyes? Was the jolly old gentleman on the head of the bench here with me today?
That's entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has somewhat of a similar build to the victim.
Well, look at that.
Oh yeah, that was me. My goodness me.
Sorry, you need a pee.
And currently, we know precisely where the old man in green overcoat fell.
Philippa's word.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene of Briar Road, where the woman was stabbed, was not on his way home.
You idiot old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming here, we'd have boxed this off hours ago.
And really?
I so.
What were you thinking wearing such a befolding coat? Befuddling coat.
What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it?
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
My lord, I do hope he won't cause any inconvenience, but
You'd like to change your leaning, I presume.
I do declare that it would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you.
And oh, wait.
It was good.
And I would
Good.
too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well,
And then he's back to his like jolly old
Gosh.
self.
Oh god, less than 5 minutes or so many things with, that we would declare this whole jury void. Yeah, indeed.
Well, that summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift of opinion. The ayes 2, the noes 4, so the noes have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue. He's drunk.
He's drinking.
And that's a waste of the rest of the jury.
it seems
That
churlish
was
for me
bad.
to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection. Only to crush it in disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord von Zeeks?
It seems I must retract my earlier remark.
Drinking alcohol is court is illegal. Crushing the glass pipe.
I don't think
I
crushing
know.
it
Is
is
it
illegal,
illegal to
it's the
crush a
drinking.
glass?
What do you mean?
Is it a crime to crush a glass?
I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Well, damn. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Damn. Hey?
Oh, sorry. I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I said is the truth.
Indeed, stalwart. Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir.
That's right. Took me the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it.
Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no.
The yard is a little less than 2 meters.
A little bit. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all.
In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend?
Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no.
What?
And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works?
I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. Oh,
Wow.
no.
Oh.
No coaches would have had hopes of passing anyway, and we just turned any gentlefolk back when they came. Kids just jump right over us all the time.
The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see.
Wow.
I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench and is meandering around town.
Every case is a mistrial due to skipping the... yeah.
I don't know, man. 2 yards is a lot to fucking jump.
Yeah.
Especially in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
And with the books.
And with fucking ice.
Yeah.
This is you, bud.
Oh, yeah. Is that true, is it? Oh, man.
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road.
Crushed in a single sentence.
And, old man. Old man, you can talk! You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you all the time? At the time? Oh, I can't say as I remember.
You don't remember?
How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw. But I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Order! Order! Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself.
My lord.
If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination?
You can't?
Because it can't. The rules state he can't.
I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. Oh shit. The coat comes off!
The code is off.
So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over.
That was the day Lord Zeke lost his life winnings in 2001 bet. Realistic 1.5 guineas. What are you talking about?
My lord.
Thanks, Ryan.
Huh?
Oh, want to be popular? Want popularity?
I want to be famous. Oh my gosh. I wish I was famous like the a fire charm.
It's not defeat a fire charmer. Stop it.
The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand.
Right?
Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses.
It's next witnesses.
Mr. Naruhodal, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were... Oh, sorry, okay. There were eyewitnesses to the incident.
Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less.
I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness.
Alright, no matter who Von Zeeks brings it to send as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Sasaki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing him believing to the very end, until the battle is over. Nice!
Another chapter? Okay, another chapter? Oh no.
She's cute.
Cute!
We're gonna save here, so I'll just keep this statement for later, I suppose.
Okay.
I don't want to prolong it too long and
She's so
go with all the
Very adorable.
yeah. I could have saved here actually. Oh, thanks for the follow, Zeke.
Zeke. Van Zeke.
Zeke the Jolteon.
Is there another of me? Is my glass.
Well then,
Competition.
it was only the opening of the case, but what do you guys think?
Interesting. But it seems really difficult for now, like... We don't have any evidence to prove his innocence. Like,
God, it took so long to get to this point.
yeah.
It was a roundabout way to actually prove that he went another route, or just continue the court to the next state to next witness. That's for sure.
I wasn't even sure how the gameplay would be, because this is actually the first case I was binned since the start, since I joined in like after, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't even know how the gameplay is, but I guess I'm learning how it works.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay, Zeke. There's no confusion here. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the circus. I hope you will enjoy the shows in the future as well.
Oh, Media was there. Hello, Media.
Yep, Media was there.
Yeah.
I know them.
Mm-hmm.
The little him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is
At the
someone
end
that
of,
I
like,
know.
Determination. That was so cute.
Yep.
Yeah, because in other people's streams, usually I don't know the chat. I'm like, oh, another person that I don't know. But yeah, I know them, so I was like, yay, I know them.
Did Von Zeeks call into question the fidelity of the jury system? Yes. He
called them.
He finds
swayed.
Yeah, he finds that a jury is easily swayed because of like personal opinions.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you, Guru. Thank you. I'm sorry you
Thank you.
weren't here today.
I hope you'll next week you're able to come along again.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like Hita maid? Maid voice?
Oh my.
I enjoyed it.
I hope it was close enough to what we actually. Was more manlier probably, but.
I mean, you're a man, so that can be helped.
Yeah.
She was just sick. That's what
wasn't
happened.
Chatting was listening. Yeah.
Feeling
Yeah,
under the weather.
she's a cold. She's a cold.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna raid someone. I think Ina's just starting our stream.
Oh, gamer.
Hog.
Yeah. I think I'm going to raid Ina Hyena.
Arrivederci.
We're going to play Warframe, so... I haven't played the game myself, but I think it's pretty decent.
Can I ask something to Ziki? Is that the right pronunciation?
What's
I don't know, Ziki.
I'm out of
the
it, she forgot
Dolphin.
I think it's Zeke.
Zeke. Maybe
Ah.
it's Zeke, yes.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Zeke, and hope you'll be able to watch more.
I wanted to ask you if you wanted to write in Italian, like arrivederci. something like that. Because it does look like that, a bit different, but I don't know. Maybe you didn't want to write in Italian. It's just similar.
Hmm. Anyway, let me.
It's just some Italian person triggered. They're writing in Italian, yay! I mean, aren't you happy when they write in your language? Like, oh, that's so cute. Yes, it's arrivederci. Guru is Italian too. We will conquer the world. No,
Anyway,
we won't.
I will close off the stream, and we're gonna rate Hyena. Thanks to my collaborators.
Oh, in Spanish.
In Spanish.
Spanish?
Ah.
Really? Oh, I did study Spanish, but I never seen this word.
Not all.
Hmm?
Yeah. Anyway, let's
Here's the shout-outs
rate
for
stream.
all the collaborators of the
Oh,
GAA.
I was about to do that
thank you.
myself. Oh, and we're missing Fox Ryan. And we're
Maybe I
missing...
should change it to GAA. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, you're now
Yeah,
a
maybe you
permanent
should
member,
add
so you
yourself
should add
too.
yourself as well.
Mm.
Oh, you were playing Final Fantasy on stream as well, huh?
Yeah.
I think the only double letter in Spanish is like the L
Hmm.
that they call
R.
Ella. And the R, yes.
Anyway,
But
we're
we'll
all
see.
going to rate Yina here. If you are rating with us, you can just rate with this message. Or you can, if you have a subscription, you can rate with this message with the hat emote. As for now, tomorrow morning, in my morning at least, I will be streaming Final Fantasy probably for most of the day, till probably
Final Fantasy.
early evening, and I'm going to play
Which Final Fantasy?
14.
Which one?
I'm
Oh,
going
14.
to
Oh,
I'm
I
going
wanted
to
play
play
that
I'm
too.
going to play through the Endwalker expansion.
Oh.
So I hope I'll be able to like get as far as possible, because my raid team wants to start like doing the extreme fights on Tuesday. I won't be able to beat the whole story because I heard it will take like 4 solid days. So yeah, we'll see. They said I'm not necessarily required to actually make it for the first one, because I'm allowed to go at my own leisure through the story. Anyways, we're going to close off. Thanks everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Give you now a lot of love, and I'll see you guys next show. Bye bye.
Bye bye.